A wise man once said, "Nothing ever stays stock." So today I will modify a Vfc V1911 light in order to equip it with a pressure switch. First off, I get my V1911 out and remove the bezel and battery, so I won't electrocute myself. I continue by removing the hex head screw on the left side with a 2.5mm Allen key. I do this inside of a box, so I will not lose any parts. Then carefully pull out the left part of the switch, and then the right. And then the micro switch spring pops out. Now to remove the micro switch. The negative lead is simply attached to the housing with a simple screw, which is removed. To remove the positive lead, I clamp down the nut with some surgical clamps. Then I remove the screw from inside the housing, complete with battery spring. I can now carefully remove the micro switch. The cable I will use comes from a cheap Chinese copy of the G2 pressure switch for the price of $2.50, including pressure switch, Velcro and shipping. It's not bad at all. I disassemble the G2 copy. This is done with some needle nose pliers placed into the small holes of the locking ring. And then we have the pressure switch and cable attached to a simple printed circuit board. I cut the leads off, remove the cap, and it's done. To insert the pressure switch cable, I must first remove this grub screw with a 1.5mm Allen key. I now temporarily install the housing and pressure switch on my gun to get a rough idea of how long the cable needs to be, and add roughly 1 cm so the cable can be pinched by the grub screw. I then strip the cable, exposing the leads. But don't cut the leads yet, leave them be for now. I must now carefully wiggle the cable into the V1911 housing through the hole on the rear of the housing. Depending on the size of the cable, this can take a while. The grub screw will pinch the cable and hold it in place, so I keep a little slack to make my job easier. I prepare for soldering by cutting 2 pieces of 6mm heat shrink to size, to prevent short circuit, and place them over the micro switch cables. Now is the time to cut the leads to size. Then peel the ends with a wire stripper. Make sure they are long enough to comfortably solder, but short enough to not cause any interference in the V1911 housing. To prevent fraying, I twist the exposed ends. With the 2 leads exposed, I can solder them directly to the contact points. After completion, I let the assembly cool down in preparation for the next step. I now place the heat shrinks over the solder points and blast them with a heat gun. Oh, look at the shrinkage. Now to put it all back together. Push the micro switch back in, reattach the positive lead with screw, battery spring and nut on the V1911. Next screw on negative lead, micro switch spring, sliding switch right part, sliding switch left part, and the hex screw. Lastly, I put in the battery and screw on the bezel. Now we can try out the remote pressure switch. Excellent! If you liked this video, check out the other ones we made. Please like and subscribe.